My keyboard wasn't working that well earlier, so I decided to film, like, me going over and playing some old hobbies I made. Because I used to be into hobbies a lot, so I made, like, a couple of towers back in the day. Their quality is quite questionable, except for this one. This one actually was pretty good. Well, subjectively pretty good, I'd say. It's not bad compared to what I think you might see a little bit later in the video. But yeah, I have pretty decent gameplay. When I was making this tower specifically, it's not finished, by the way. A lot of them are not really finished, but when I was trying to make this, it was trying to be like an insane tower, but it's more of like a extreme. But regardless, it's a decent tower, I'd say. Some decent gameplay mechanics, and you have some little squeezes, some like little tight spots, like some unique areas. You can see by the gameplay, it's pretty good, I think. But other than that, this is basically the only good tower I made that I'd personally consider to be pretty good. I mean, the other ones are, they could be argued that's good for their time, but this one is the only one to actually say it's pretty good. Just like modern standards. So, we're almost done with this. One thing I did like about this tower was the design of the frame. I think you could see it, but I think it did a pretty good idea for the frame. I might want to fix like the top, but other than that, I think it's like a pretty good setup. But yeah, that's about it for this tower. Now let's get to the fun part of the video. Okay, so this tower was made roughly 5 or 6 years before that one. I think it was 5 years. This is one of my actual good classic towers. I think it's the only actually good classic tower. I mean, the other ones have like unique ideas and elements, but they're either not completely finished, or you might be able to tell by how they look. If you want to skip later in the video, you'll probably see them. But this is like an actual decent classic tower I have. No one actually beat it legit. I mean, well, yeah, it is a pretty hard tower. But people have gone past like the first floor, I think, so that's pretty cool, I guess. There's like a badge at the end of this tower if you want to try yourself, like if you're good at hobbies and stuff. The gameplay, you could pretty blatantly tell it's like classic. You have like little like thin studs on tensor wraps, but it's easier than it looks. At least in my opinion, it's easier than it looks, because I played tested all of this like 5 years ago. So if me when I was little, well, less older, could do it, I think you could probably do it too. Also, me type in the chat, Roblox doesn't have autocorrect for computers, so it might look a bit dumb, like how I'm talking here in the chat, but regardless, this jump here, it's pretty hard. You're supposed to do like a wall hop if you're gonna try and, you know, like actually do this. You're supposed to wall hop there. It's just like a long jump, but it's possible, don't worry. There's like, I didn't make it a triangle. I just used like a bunch of different one stud thick platforms that rotated 45 degrees and made it like a slope like that. The last floor is just one studs basically. I decided to nerf the little thin stud ladder on the top so it isn't, you know, like literally horrific. So now it's just a bunch of like head hitters. It's still one stud, well, 0.1 studs, but it's head hitters now. It should be a lot easier. Anyway, this is where we get to the actually not so great part. Before entering this tower, I think you could tell my amazing grammar skills at the time by just reading the title. But yeah, for this tower, I just scaled up the model. I don't think I reverted it back down, so I just have like a big thick window. The code bricks don't work, quite frankly. And like a bunch of like the mechanics just don't work at all. There's just like some part I spammed force fields on, just like adding effects to it. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting tower. I tried to spell some stuff, but I didn't know how to use a text box at the time, so I just like manually wrote it out so you can see like some letters down there below. if you like take a peek down there. The gameplay isn't horribly bad, I guess. I have a big sign saying noob there, so yeah, that's cool, I guess. And this is a part where you could tell the gameplay is absolutely amazing. There's like a hidden ladder there, like, okay. Anyway, I decided to make this actually beatable. I think like a year or two ago, I decided to just like add this like big little slope here if you got to roughly the end. So you could just hop all the way to the top if you wanted to. The last floor looks pretty interesting, I'd say. It's like a bunch of like neon-ish. It's like that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's reflecting the sky. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it is. Anyway, some of these lines don't actually line up with the edge of the board, which is, you might be able to tell my amazing editing skills at this time, not knowing basic geometry. Because the hypotenuse is, yeah. Anyway, you just high jump that. That's cool. You could do that legit though, it's not actually hard or anything. The cubics obviously don't work. I think I probably would have died there if they did. But maybe. I honestly forgot if that's an insta-kill brick or just like a damaged brick. I just completely forgot. This was like 5-6 years ago. Anyway, I hopped down trying to explore the rest of the gameplay in the tower because I made some creative gameplay for the time. Also, if you're wondering, I'm not actually walking this fast. This video is sped up a little bit. But when I was little, I apparently lacked any depth perception or something when I was making the towers, so I didn't think you could just, you know, do one little flick and just skip that entire part. That didn't really arise as a thought in my head. But anyway, there's that little force field part I was talking about. I also added some lights there, just because they're lights, I guess. Anyway, after he saw that amazing gameplay and just signed us as a noob again, I just hopped down just to check out the rest of the stuff. That's like a little ledge jump sort of thing. You can see my amazing spelling skills here. Yarn. And I guess I might know what it's talking about, but okay. Anyway, you can see these misaligned little wraps here. As you can tell, this is very good gameplay made by a professional builder. But I actually have some pretty interesting gameplay here coming up. Well, not this part specifically, this is just like wraps, but this part here, it's like, that's like pretty hard to think about. Like, that's a very innovative jump. You could just literally just wall hop. And I catch the feeling I should jump and go to my, I think this is my first tower, like I made in a separate game on my account. I think I made some stuff earlier than this, but like, there might be one tower older than this one, but that's about it. Anyway, this tower I think is actually like practically beatable for if you, like a viewer, if you want to watch this and try it. I'd say, personally, this is like maybe an insane tower, but the difficulty spikes on this are so dumb. Because you go from just like blatantly extreme gameplay here, and like in a minute or two, it'll plummet down right to hard. So you have these like 10 stud wraps and like 0.5 studs, a platform you can just walk on, and you can't even see that properly. At least I didn't. But anyway, I had to skip over to some thin studs. This jump is actually pretty like cool, like thoughtful. You'd like do a little wrap down. I did that before. It's possible, but it just goes into like low hard gameplay after that, and some little trust flicks and you're done. So yeah, I think this is like practically beatable. Anyway, this is my old, like, I mean, it's not really fair to call it an obby, it's more of like a room game. I just made like a bunch of hard rooms to do. This was back in like 2020, I think, by the way. So, I have like three insane rooms, and the rest are, well, not three insane rooms, three SC rooms, and the rest are like non-SC. And I made like a big collection thing there, like all the stuff there. This one specifically, I think this was the first one I made, which was by now probably like 5 years ago, which is a bit concerning. But this one actually has a badge if you want to try and get it yourself. Yeah, there's a badge here. This is, I think it's supposed to be an extreme, but you can literally just wall hop. And just go down here, and like, yeah, that's about it. I mean, if you try it legit, it might be cool, just in a video, like in Discord I have, but yeah, there's a badge there. It's a very poorly cropped badge, but it's a badge nonetheless. Anyway, here I try and do like the big thing in the middle, like you can call it a citadel, I guess. It's just basically all the obbies I have just stacked. You go from easy to medium to hard to difficult and like all the rest, sort of. For these obbies, they were more of like a design project, as you could probably tell for some of these, rather than like an actual hard gameplay. Although some of them did have both. This one is just raps, basically. I'd say this is like low rem, maybe. Maybe, I'm not really sure. Could be like intense, because it is pretty short. But here you get to see me not knowing where to go in my own obby, because again, I made this like 5 years ago. But I figure it out after I fall down, which is... It's like if you watch a movie and you forget like a lot of it, and then you like watch it again. Like some of those like silent films are kind of interesting. Anyway, I just wrap up there, and that's about it for that specific like yellow box area. Here's like the purple box I was trying to get into, but I wasn't able to earlier. TLDR, a bunch of thin studs, and I tried to do a wrap, but I failed the first time, I think. My slash key was broken here this time. It's fixed now, but it was broken here at the time, so I wasn't really able to do a dance clip that easily. So I just tried to do the rap over and over again. I do eventually get it, though. I think this might be the time. Yeah, there we go. Here I still can't dance, so I just do a little wrap around, which is pretty interesting. You get to see some classic Z fighting there. This one actually broke a little bit, so you just like LHJ. If you're doing this, you're allowed to LHJ. It's intentional at this point, because some of the things just broke over time. But yeah, it's pretty interesting obby, I'd say. You can see me trying to fail an LHJ. Well, not trying to fail, but failing an LHJ repeatedly. But I do eventually get it, don't worry. But first of all, I do like some of the obby first. You basically have like a little circle area there, like some wraps. Yep, little cut and just there. Don't worry, the cut took like maybe 2-3 minutes. As you can tell, I'm exceptionally skilled at LHJing. Anyway, instead of doing those pesky little one studs, you know, how evil of them. They're not actually hard. Anyway, well, probably. I tried to do the same skip here, but apparently the game broke here, I guess. There just wasn't a continuation there, so I tried to LHJ here, but as you can see with my track record, I kind of suck at that, which may be factored in with my poor keyboard performance. But this block here is slightly higher, I think, so if you want to try this in like an actual run, you just LHJ here, it's okay. And you should be able to like jump onto other stuff from there. Maybe. There's another part you can LHJ at that isn't that part. I think it's like roughly at the slope area. Like in the front, you had this area. You could probably try and LHJ here too. maybe. But yeah, that's about it for this section. There's a Kata Alpi over there. And here I get to the tower that might, keyword might be the oldest. It might not be, it might be, I honestly forget, but this is one of the oldest like towers I made. This was maybe 2019, which was literally like okay, that's like last decade. You can still see the new sign. That's not new. Trust me, it's not new. But it's still an interesting tower. You can see classic gameplay. So, if your friend ever says he misses classic JTOW or like classic towers, just show him this video. So as you can see, this is some amazing gameplay here. We have thin studs you just walk on. And like a little misaligned tightrope. I had to be a genius to do that. And you have a little slope and a staircase, I guess. Yeah, some of my earlier Insanes, the difficulty balancing was not there. It was not on point. You just have one stud pillars for an entire floor, and whatever this is. It'd be pretty funny if I actually submitted this to JTOW back in 2019, because it might have actually gone in. That would have been pretty funny, but thankfully it isn't. Anyway, you have 4 pink blocks there, and you casually have the difficulty hop up like 3 levels. You get 0.001 stud platforms or something like that. And mushroom conveyors. And that one goes in reverse. Don't worry, that jump's possible. I've done it before. It's just very hard. So that's fun. You could probably see me going further on my last attempt there, so yeah, that's how you do that, I guess, maybe. After that hell, you get some 12 stud jumps, which apparently are harder in the eyes of the builder at the time. Me. And, well, this was also done by a friend. At the time he was called Ayat Salavi, now it's Aerionite. We used to have like a little group, but that was a long time ago. But anyway, we have this amazing gameplay here. You could also just see me casually failing it. As you can tell, my skill level is quite high at this time. But one thing I want to note on is like that pink ladder. That ladder is amazing. That's like really good design there. And I casually just die. I give myself fly commands again and just fly back up. Apparently the healing items in this game are just broken, so there's that. Also, this game, I think, like this specific game, I think it's going to be shut down on the 30th because Arrow has the updating perms for the game, not me. This was like his game. I just built the tower. He built his own tower in this game, I think, and like tried to make another one or something. They were pretty decent towers, by the way, what he was trying to make. I think he finished making an easy tower. He was trying to make like a medium tower with like some speed sections. But regardless, here's like a little maze I made. Yeah, I don't think anyone did the maze other than me and maybe Era, I forgot. But as you can tell, this is peak gameplay right here. If anyone tells you they missed the old days of like classic towers, this is classic towers. This is right here for you. Some of them are good, don't get me wrong. Classic towers are sometimes pretty good, like Torny and Zone 1. They have like really good gameplay there. I mean, I usually don't play the audio, but it's good gameplay. But I can't really see that much of anything here, but I did this section pretty easily, and that's about the end of the tower here, by the way. But yeah, classic towers, they can sometimes be good. This is, again, is currently closed, by the way. This is the one that you're seeing right now. I just like jump cut to this tower I made roughly 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah, it's all purple or pink or something. I think that's like a lilac color, honestly. I'm not really sure if it's purple or pink. You could probably say in the comments, maybe. But anyway, back to classic towers. They're sometimes good, like that TOCF, Tower of Catastrophic Failures on my account. The first one, that was, I said, was classic. That one's actually not that bad, in my opinion. Like, I've had people play it, they say it wasn't really that bad. But other than that, the quality of the towers I made specifically, because some of the obbies I made were honestly not that bad. But the towers specifically, they had questionable quality. I don't actually get into every single obby I made in the past in this video. It's just like too long. And some of them just didn't load, and I didn't really want to show the obby in Roblox Studio. That's kind of like a... I mean, I theoretically could, but it's not as engaging as doing it in person in the game. But there is like one obby I'm not showing here just because I couldn't access the game. But, I mean, if you comment and like ask for it, I could probably like do a unlisted video on this one and show it. Maybe. But anyway, this is a tower I made in Tower Creator called Tower of Corrosive Maneuvers. I tried to transfer it to my main account. You might have seen it for like a split second early in the video, but yeah, it's mostly in Tower Creator. This is actually a pretty decent tower. Well, this isn't classic, but it's classic inspired. I tried to like merge TOI, TOIM, and like the hardest jumps I could think of, and just like hard gameplay in general, and that's how you get this amazing tower right here. It gave me casually failing that, and going there again, and showing like two different pathways for this one. For that, you could use alignment keys, by the way. They just weren't working on my computer at the time, but you could like align, and there's like a 0.1 stud you could align to and just jump there. So it isn't like misalign one stud, that's later. Yeah, you heard me, that's later. Anyway, I'm just checking out the tower so far. Some button sections. That's a conveyor, by the way, that little snake thing. It's like the TOC floor 2, like the end of floor 2, just like a conveyor thing. That's kind of where I got the idea from, I think. But I actually have some hard ladder gameplay. Some people decided to try the tower. It didn't go that well. I mean, this is like a catastrophic, horrific tower, so I don't really blame them, but yeah. I have some break sessions here. And the fun room. The fun room is... It's the fun room, as you can see right here. Maybe. Anyway, now we're done with the fun room. There is like still some decent sections to the tower. The start of floor 5 is the hardest part of the tower, I think. There's a misaligned 0.1 stud to a misaligned 0.05 stud. And also you have the spinner jump, so have fun, I guess. I heard Tower Creator is planning to allow you to transfer this to like your own private game, which is like pretty convenient for me because I want this on my account too, as well as in Tower Creator. But I just feel like Tower Creator is easier to like dev in. But I just went on my account just to, you know, like have it there. It is my work after all. Anyway, well, yeah, same for Obby Creator. I'd prefer that too, but I don't think they're trying to do that. Anyway, this outside section I think is actually designed pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. It took me like a couple hours to build it the other day, but I like it honestly. There's some creative gameplay mechanics. You have a Kubrick ladder. You do that little flick down, so you just like heal there. I happen to be quite impatient, so I went early, and I just died. But you do have like a nice little view here. You could just like spectate every layer of the tower over here. But realistically, in a run, I don't think you'd be as impatient as me. If someone was theoretically doing this, you probably wouldn't be that impatient. Just like do that. But TLDR, you go there, just like a little rapido, little pathway. You get this little button over here. There's some like 0.25 studs over open air. But there is like a teleporter down there, so like if you fall, you go to like 4 floors, something like that. I think I actually like fall here, but like not on purpose. my intention was to try and get to that zip line, but it didn't work out that quite. So you have this like nice little scenic view here. That's kind of the point of adding that part, I think. Anyway, the next tower is up, roughly around here. And this is like a game I didn't play in a long time for like making towers and stuff. So all these are decently old. Maybe 4 years, 5 years. I wouldn't say this is 2019. Maybe 2021, 2022. I tried to make the hardest obby I could possible here. I'm not exactly sure the regular means how to do this part. So, there's that, I guess. Might be flank control or something. Yeah, I'm just taking like a close look. Anyway, there's some ramps and like some long jumps. And like one floor made by someone else. It's a pretty hard tower. I'd say this is a tower. I tried to make it a tower. But yeah, it's pretty hard. I'd say it isn't wide difficulty. But it might be like horrific or unreal or something. I don't know. Because there's just some jumps I didn't know how to do. Also, like count is a certain number. Anyway, this is a better tower than I made in my opinion. It's pretty hard to see your first floor, so you just like skip that part. But the rest is decent gameplay. This is a Terry tower, but the first area is like Rem. This is like the difficulty spike area because the floor here is just insta kills, I think. Anyway, some hard jumps. You have some like outside stuff and a teleporter pad to a part that's like low hard. And that's about it for a tower. It's a good win room though. I'm pretty happy with the win room I made back then. Anyway, for this one, I don't have any collabs on this one. It's very interesting gameplay here. But it's not bad or anything. It's like, it's a decently good tower. Here's the easy tower, by the way. I mean, like a cave area. It's still pretty good. This is a Soul Question tower from earlier. This is also probably like 4 or 5 years ago. And I have like some hard sections that like connect to like a little wedge area here. Yeah, like right there. Entrance is like a ladder flick, by the way, if you're wondering. Anyway, there's some ramps and stuff. You know, classic tower. So, if you're wondering how classic gameplays look like, or like how it may have been formatted, this is generally how you tend to see it. Anyway, you have a little break area, and like some easy gameplay, and that's about it for a tower. It's a pretty, like, fairly decent tower. But we're almost done with the section on Obby Creator. Also almost out of towers, but this is like a tower map that I made with different people. This was me and my friend, well, mostly me and my friend Red. You might have been able to see the full name earlier. You could see my amazing grammar there, and yeah, I wouldn't say that's an extreme tower, well, not tower, more of like a room. But anyway, you can see the fake snow there, I think, in the white room earlier. So, yeah, you can see some, like, ingenuity, but, anyway, this is the last tower I'm going to be covering here in this video. This was inspired after TODCC, which, I mean, you might be able to tell just from how it's generally formatted. But, it's not bad or anything. Well, other than the obvious Z fighting. There is one thing I should note. On Intense, there's like a certain spot that I was trying to lag high jump, but I wasn't able to. But I still was able to zoom out and like you could see most of the tower from there, so it's not as big of a deal as it may have been. Anyway, we could see that obviously difficult gameplay, and it just goes down in difficulty to whatever this is. In this little thing, it's supposed to be a break room, I think. Like, there might be like a little campfire added with like some little fire particles I did myself, which was pretty advanced for a time. But other than that, this is about it for as far as I was able to go, just because of the lag high jump thing. Well, not just because of it, but like, yeah. Anyway, you could see me just failing that. But anyway, I zoom out, you could see some stuff like some TODCC inspired stuff. You could see my name, Eve, like my Roblox name. I zoom out so you could see like more stuff, maybe. And like you can maybe see some 2SP gameplay on the top with like those thin studs and like wraps. But other than that, that's about it for the video. I plan to release UR after this. Hopefully. See ya.